Today, what do you do after you had the first call with the prospect? Like, there is a ton of information online in terms of how to book the call, how to run the call, how to do a discovery process, and all this blah 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 blah. But nobody tells you what to do once you actually finish that call. How do you get the prospect from the first call and with a bunch of follow-ups to actually signing the agreement? That's the most trickiest part. That's the shadowy process. And now I will tell you the main concept that majority of videos are missing out, and why majority of deals or first calls that you have, actually they end up nowhere. And this nowhere is called follow-up land. And if in a few words for you to explain what is the follow-up land, this is when you had a call with the prospect, and then you send the follow-up, and then another one, then another one, then another one, and they either don't reply to you, or then they maybe come back to you and say, oh no, actually blah blah blah, this thing happened and we were busy, and we're actually not going to buy. By the way, can you give us like 50% discount, something like that? So when this means follow-up land that you have zero control of the process. You as a salesperson, it's your company, your product, your sales process, and then you have zero control because the buyer, they basically dictate how you should perform, what you should do, and all these things. It's a very bad position because you have no control, you have no predictability, and you're not a seller, you're not an account executive because you do not execute anything, and you cannot recommend your account, you cannot recommend the company anything to do because they do not value your advices, that they are not willing to collaborate with you, and that's it. Just wasted some time. So I will share with you a very important thing. Like, every problem you encounter is going to be the reason of something that you didn't do or did do before. So if you're landing up in the follow-up land, this means that you did something bad or didn't do something right before, and now you're stuck in the follow-up land. So it's not the question that you need to change something, like suddenly come up with a certain combination like of magic words that you would send them as a follow-up, and then that would get people to convert and then reply to you and then start moving in the process. It's not the thing. They make a decision if they want to move forward with you or not on the call. And then the follow-up is just going to be, it's like a normal thing for them to, to continue moving forward with you. And that's it. And the most important thing for you to understand is that if you are stuck in the follow-up land often, this means that your discovery process is not perfect. And then you need to change your discovery process and the questions that you ask in order to avoid being stuck in the follow-up land. So what would I recommend for you to do? First one is ask questions, something like this that I included here. Assuming this call goes well, what happens next? And then let them respond. They will tell you what will happen if they like everything that they see on the call. And then you tell them, okay, maybe they tell you, yeah, we would need to, if I like everything and we meet on pricing, maybe we need to speak with somebody else. And then, and they just tell you what they're going to do, just do some blah, blah. And then you say, okay, oh, you need to speak with somebody, like maybe their CEO. Mind sharing what will you discuss with him or with her? They're going to tell you, oh, we're actually going to talk about X, Y, and Z. And you're all right. So, I will help you to prepare some materials. We'll send them in the follow-up. By the way, when do you plan to talk with them? What is the date? It's probably going to be like in a week. You're like, okay, no, when they tell you something not concrete, try to get a direct response. Okay, you say in a week, really? Well, but realistically, it's going to be Monday or it's going to be Friday. Yeah, I don't know, like maybe we're going to get something. This is going to be a red flag for you. This is the red flag for you that this is going to be a follow-up land deal. So if you do not push them into telling you a concrete next step, because we're probably going to discuss it with the CEO sometime next week, is not a direct, it's not concrete follow-up next step. You cannot take it. If you take it, this means that the call ended with no next steps, and this is a no. You should assume it as a no. So you need to always get people to tell you what are they going to do, why do they need to do it, when are they going to do it. So ideally they're going to tell you, all right, I'm going to speak with my CEO next Monday morning, and then if everything happens, everything goes good, we would go and we would get back to you and say everything. And then you say, very cool. So once, like, if you do not get back to me by X date, is it cool if I follow up with you at, for example, at Wednesday, if you don't come back to me on Tuesday? And they're going to tell you, yeah, that's okay. And then you tell them, all right, and if I follow up with you on Wednesday and you do not reply, would it be okay for me to assume that it's a no on your end? It's like you're pushing it to an extreme. You are getting your customers to tell you they're like what exactly going to happen in their next step, you are actually making it easier for themselves. Because right now when they tell you, oh, we're actually going to talk with my CEO with, I don't know, like sometime next week, this, for them, it's like it's like it's now, it's nowhere, it's not a to do, it's just, you know, an additional thing that they may do or may not do depending on the context of your meeting, or how needy are they in service that you need. Because for example, if you're solving something very urgent and very painful, they would definitely talk with their decision maker as soon as they can. But if it's like a nice to have, or this doesn't look as a painkiller, the stuff that you sell looks more like a vitamin, this may not be on their priority list. So you asking them more accurate, more adequate questions about exactly what they're going to do helps them to imagine themselves doing it. And if they imagine themselves doing it, it's actually helping them to understand that, you know, they need to do it. And then once you finish them with, okay, so if you don't reply to me, is it okay that I would assume that it's a no, and I would close out your file in my CRM? This is the most important question that you would ask, because this is the moment when you raise the stakes in your conversation. You raise the stakes to making them and holding them accountable. And then you tell them, my friends, so if you do not like, okay, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to discuss, I'm going to help you do this, I'm going to help you sending these materials. Now, if you do not do this, or you do not come back to me, I'll just assume that it's not a fit, you know, I'll close out your file and goodbye. You know, I'm just going to move forward. Like that's it. We're not going to solve your problem. So the most important thing that you need to get from this video is the problems that you encounter right now, they happened because you did something or didn't do something before. And then another one is that you need to finish the follow-up, or like you need to finish any call or anything. There is either a next step or it's a no. So you know, if you put it to extreme, like in the example that I gave to you, if they do not reply to you or they do not reply to your follow-up, you assume it's a no, you close them in your CRM as a closed loss, and then you move forward, and then you do more prospecting, and then you get more calls, and that's basically it. You do not stay in the follow-up land. You make it very clear for the person that they either move forward at your agenda, at something that you already agreed with them. If they do not do this, it's goodbye. That's it. So this video is actually longer than I intended, but it's an important topic, and I wanted to open it up and cover it for you, like in multiple details. Let me know if you like it. I'm going to record more videos in terms of how to follow up, you know, what to follow up, like what to follow up with, when it's okay to follow up, like how many days to wait, and all these things. And, you know, based on the performance of this video and different likes and comments, I'm going to decide if I'm going to do it and drop it. So stay tuned for the next video. There's going to be even way more value. So subscribe, you know, like, share it with your friends. And, you know, this channel exists to help you make more money in sales. And if you're about it, you know, happy to connect with you. There's going to be a link to apply to the community of Web3 Sales Gym on Telegram. There's going to be a community of people who want to make more money in Web3 with sales, with their skills. So, you know, it's going to be a good place for you if you're people like us. See you, and bye-bye.